Hey, Dodgers fans. Today we're diving into some of the most talked about developments in Major League Baseball, and this one is a real game changer. There's a name circulating everywhere right now, and it's none other than Tarik Skubal, the back-to-back American League Cy Young Award winner who has absolutely dominated the mound over the past 2 seasons. His performances have not only made him the centerpiece of the Detroit Tigers rotation, but also one of the most sought-after pitchers in the league. The conversation around him is heating up because of his contract situation, and the possibilities for the Dodgers and other top contenders are incredibly intriguing. The buzz started when the latest trade rumors began to circulate, focusing on Scubal's future beyond Detroit. The Tigers made an extension offer, but it fell significantly short of expectations, leaving both sides with a major gap that has reignited trade speculation. With just 4 years on the table and an offer reportedly under $80 million, it is clear that the Tigers and Scubal's camp are far apart on valuation. Considering his age, his consistent performance, and his role as a top-tier ace, there's no denying that he holds immense trade value. Detroit faces a difficult decision. Hold on to a pitcher who has proven to be elite or entertain offers that could reshape the team's future while they remain in contention. Looking at Scubal's stats paints an even clearer picture of why he's such a hot commodity. At just 29 years old, he recorded a 2.21 earned run average last season, with a whip under .9, completing 195 innings while allowing only 18 home runs. He struck out 241 batters and maintained a hits-per-9 ratio of 6.5. Simply put, his numbers are staggering, and he is easily among the elite pitchers in the American League. The competition in the AL is fierce, but even with names like Garrett Crochet and others in the mix, Scubal remains far ahead in terms of dominance and consistency. His ability to perform at such a high level in back-to-back seasons places him in rarefied air, making him not just a valuable asset, but a transformative one for any team that lands him. From the Tigers' perspective, they have a clear goal of remaining competitive in the upcoming season. Scubal is a critical part of that plan, and Detroit's front office has emphasized that there is no sign they are willing to shift their position despite the ongoing trade chatter. While some executives and insiders believe that Scubal might move, the reality is that he remains central to the Tigers' strategy, and their intent to contend again next season is unmistakable. This creates a fascinating dynamic, as any potential trade would require not just financial negotiation, but also a deep consideration of Detroit's competitive ambitions. On the other side of this conversation are the teams that could be legitimate landing spots for a pitcher of Scubal caliber. While the Dodgers are not necessarily the first team that comes to mind in every report, they consistently appear near the top of the list. The New York Mets are often mentioned as the team to watch, but Los Angeles is right behind them, alongside other high-profile contenders like the Orioles, Yankees, Red Sox, and Giants. The Dodgers' rotation is already impressive, featuring Yoshi Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani, and several other emerging talents. But adding a pitcher like Scubal could push them into an entirely different tier. The question for the Dodgers is not whether he would improve the rotation. They clearly would, but whether the value and opportunity align with their broader strategy and roster management. Another layer of complexity lies in the injuries and unpredictability that every team faces over a long season. The Dodgers had their share of setbacks last year, which makes depth and elite talent all the more critical. While Tyler Glass and other pitchers remain on the roster, the potential to add someone like Scubal offers an unmatched combination of stability and peak performance. His track record shows that he is capable of taking over games, limiting runs, and maintaining a level of dominance that few pitchers in the league can match. Even if the Dodgers have a strong rotation, having an ace of Scubal's caliber adds flexibility, insurance, and a psychological edge over their competition. Evaluating Scubal as a player goes beyond just statistics. He is a pitcher who consistently limits quality contact, keeps opponents off balance, and demonstrates control that is often described as elite-level mastery. Metrics like ground ball percentage or barrel contact, while frequently cited in analytical discussions, barely scratch the surface of his true value because opposing hitters simply do not make contact often enough to challenge him consistently. His pitch velocity, movement, and command combine to make him a nightmare for any lineup, which is why he is both coveted and expensive. Detroit knows this, and they're in the rare position of controlling the fate of a player whose value may be at its peak in terms of trade potential. The scenario becomes even more interesting when you factor in his age and contract timeline. While Scubal is 30 years old after the 2026 season, the trajectory of his performance remains strong. There is always some inherent risk as pitchers age, but few can argue against his elite skill set and the sustained dominance he has shown. Detroit could decide to hold him, betting on continued success, or they could entertain trades that bring immediate returns. For Los Angeles, the opportunity to acquire such a pitcher involves both strategic planning and careful evaluation of cost versus benefits. His arrival could shift the balance of power in the National League and provide insurance for the Dodgers' championship aspirations in the coming seasons. Finally, the broader baseball landscape must be considered. Trade rumors like these are not just about the players themselves. They shape strategy, influence front office decisions, and create a ripple effect across multiple teams. For the Dodgers, pursuing Scubal is about more than talent. It's about positioning the franchise to compete at the highest level. They already boast one of the most formidable rotations in the league, but adding a Cy Young caliber pitcher enhances not only their odds on the field, but also the perception of their dominance in the sport. Every inning, every matchup, and every strategic decision is influenced by the potential acquisition of a player like Scubal, making this offseason one of the most captivating in recent memory. As we continue diving into the potential impact of Tarik Scubal and his fit with the Dodgers, it is impossible to ignore just how significant his presence would be on the mound. Los Angeles already has a rotation that can compete with any team in Major League Baseball, featuring a mix of experience, raw talent, and young arms ready to make an impact. Yoshiwu Yamamoto, coming off a season where he showed glimpses of brilliance, offers consistency and the ability to handle high-pressure innings. Blake Snell, when healthy, remains a formidable force, combining power pitches with strategic control to keep hitters off balance. Sure, Ohtani, arguably the best all-around player in the league, contributes not just on the mound, but as a game-changer with the bat, making him a dual threat that few teams can counter. Adding someone like Scubal to this rotation doesn't just deepen it. It transforms it into one of the most intimidating lineups for any opponent. For the Dodgers, the question becomes whether the potential rewards outweigh the costs. Scubal will not come cheap. Detroit is unlikely to part with a pitcher of his caliber without receiving significant compensation, whether in top prospects, financial considerations, or a combination of both. However, the opportunity to acquire a pitcher who has proven dominance over multiple seasons, particularly someone who can control games and consistently shut down elite lineups, is difficult to ignore. The Dodgers have historically been willing to invest in premium talent when the potential for championship success is within reach, and this situation perfectly aligns with that philosophy. Scubal's profile as a pitcher is unique. While some advanced metrics like ground ball percentage or barrel contact are often scrutinized in modern baseball analysis, they rarely tell the full story for a player of his caliber. His ability to limit solid contact and maintain high strikeout rates places him in an elite category that is rare to find. Opposing hitters simply do not see enough quality opportunities against him to mount consistent success. Combine that with his velocity, command, and movement, and you have a pitcher who not only dominates statistically, but also exerts a psychological edge over every lineup he faces. For Los Angeles, this isn't just about numbers. It's about adding a player who can influence games in ways that go beyond traditional statistics, shaping strategy, and providing a level of confidence that resonates throughout the clubhouse. In terms of team strategy, the Dodgers must weigh their current rotation against the potential Scubal brings. Injuries, of course, always play a role in decision-making, and even with a strong roster, the past season has shown that durability cannot be assumed. Tyler Glass, Emmett Sheen, Roy Sasaki, and Gavin Stone represent valuable depth, but none have reached the established dominance that Scubal commands. The ability to add an ace who can take the ball every fifth day and immediately tilt the balance in favor of the Dodgers adds a layer of security and flexibility that is invaluable in a long and grueling season. Even if the team doesn't face immediate injuries, having that high-level talent in the rotation opens strategic options, allowing for careful management of innings and matchups throughout the year. The conversation about Scubal's trade potential also highlights the broader dynamics at play in Major League Baseball. Detroit's stance is a key factor in this equation. The Tigers are committed to contending and view Scubal as the cornerstone of their strategy. Yet, the gap between their extension offer and Scubal's perceived market value leaves room for speculation. If talks remain stagnant and the Tigers reassess their position, the timing of any trade could be influenced by the winter meetings or by how competitive they project their season to be. For teams like Los Angeles, the opportunity to strike at the right moment could mean acquiring a generational talent at the peak of his performance, changing the trajectory of their season and potentially positioning them as frontrunners for a championship. Scubal's age also adds an interesting dimension to the discussion. Turning 30 after the 2026 season, he is in a period where many pitchers begin to experience slight fluctuations in performance. While there is no indication that his skill level will decline anytime soon, front offices must consider long-term value and contract planning. The Dodgers have the luxury of evaluating both immediate impact and future potential, a balance that is crucial when investing in premium talent. The risk is measured, but the upside is enormous. A successful acquisition could not only solidify the rotation for the next season, but also provide a cornerstone for strategic decisions in subsequent years, including postseason matchups and potential contract extensions. From a broader competitive standpoint, Scubal's availability reshapes the conversation around the entire National League. Teams are already positioning themselves strategically for the offseason, and adding a player of his caliber can influence trade decisions, free agency moves, and even minor league development plans. For the Dodgers, acquiring Scubal would send a clear message. This is a team committed to competing at the highest level, willing to pursue elite talent to maintain their position as perennial contenders. The ripple effects of such a move would extend beyond the rotation, influencing lineups, bullpen usage, and in-game strategies throughout the season. Every matchup against divisional rivals would suddenly carry even greater stakes, and the Dodgers' pitching staff would gain a level of depth and dominance that few teams can match. Even beyond the Dodgers, the potential trade for Scubal has implications for the broader MLB landscape. Teams like the Mets, Orioles, Yankees, Red Sox, and Giants are all monitoring his situation closely. Each of these organizations recognizes the value he brings not just statistically, but strategically. Acquiring a back-to-back Cy Young winner is a rare opportunity, one that can alter the competitive balance for multiple seasons. The Dodgers, with their mix of talent, resources, and strategic ambition, are uniquely positioned to capitalize if the opportunity arises. The decision ultimately comes down to timing, negotiation, and evaluation of both risk and reward. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Whispers have been circulating through the corridors of Major League Baseball, and the latest buzz centers on the Los Angeles Dodgers pitching staff. Paul Skenes, the young phenom once lauded as a generational talent, is reportedly stepping into a leading role in the Dodgers rotation, a move that has fans and insiders alike buzzing with anticipation. Sources close to the organization suggest that Skenes, who has been meticulously groomed since his draft days, is finally being entrusted with the responsibility and spotlight that many expected from him since his college dominance. The Dodgers front office, known for balancing veteran leadership with emerging talent, appears ready to ride the wave of Skenes' immense potential. Scouts and analysts have long speculated that Skenes' repertoire, his blazing fastball coupled with a devastating slider, could make him a future Cy Young contender. Now, the chatter suggests that the Dodgers see him not just as a promising rookie, but as a bona fide ace in the making. Teammates are reportedly excited, describing a young pitcher with an intense focus, a quiet confidence, and a work ethic that mirrors the legends he hopes to join. Rumors hint that his presence could reshape the dynamics of the Dodgers' pitching strategy, offering new possibilities for rotation matchups and postseason aspirations. Off the field, the media frenzy around Skenes is growing. Baseball insiders have noted that the young hurler is navigating the sudden attention with a surprising calm, often deflecting questions about personal accolades and emphasizing team success. Yet, the underlying sentiment is clear. The Dodgers are betting big, and so is the baseball world. If Skenes delivers on the lofty expectations, whispers of a Cy Young trophy might transform into a roar. Fans are already speculating about how his emergence could affect the veteran arms around him, and whether this marks the beginning of a new era for the Dodgers' pitching dominance. The intrigue surrounding Paul Skenes' rise is palpable, and the rumor mill shows no signs of slowing. As the Dodgers lean into their mix of seasoned experience and youthful firepower, one thing seems certain. The baseball world is watching, waiting, and wondering if a new ace is about to claim his place among the elite. Could this be the start of a historic run, or merely the opening act of a carefully orchestrated journey toward greatness? Only time will tell, but the buzz is undeniable, and Skenes' name is on everyone's lips. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.